ladies and gentlemen of Jaguar Nation. It is my pleasure to be on the broadcast tonight between your Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars taking on the University of the Southwest Mustangs. And on behalf of the Jaguar Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio, my name is Cameron M. Caldwell, and I have the honor of being up in the broadcaster's booth joined tonight with Tony Talamontes here. He's currently working out some technical difficulties we're sorting out early on here so we can make sure that your broadcast is clear as possible. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. As I said, Cameron C. and Tony T. on the call for the Jaguar Sports Network, and the Lady Jags are coming off of a week-long break after taking on the Division III Hardin-Simmons University in an exciting doubleheader, winning the first game 8-3 and dropping the second after 5 innings 9-0. Kaylee Barlow had herself 1 run and an RBI on 2 hits at 3 at-bats as a designated hitter in the first game, and Cristiana Luera made her at-bats count, picking up 1 run and 2 RBIs to add to the total score. This matchup against the University of the Southwest Mustangs will open up the conference play for both teams, and the Mustangs currently coming into this doubleheader off of on a 3-win streak, previously winning both games of a doubleheader against the Howard Payne Yellow Jackets on February 15th, winning the second game 11-8. Layla Strouder had herself quite the game, putting up 3 runs in her 4 at-bats, as well as Hannah Campos is grabbing 1 run with 5 RBIs to secure that win. So the Jaguars currently coming in with a record of 5-9, but 0-0 as this doubleheader opens up conference play for both teams. As I had mentioned, the Mustangs coming in 3-7 overall, but same in the conference. Rianne Limon gets the nod to lead off for the Jaguars on the mound, and in the batter's box is number 9, Adriana Nettles. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you're new to the Jaguar Sports Network, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Help us reach our goal of hitting 800 subscribers before the end of the softball season. We are an entirely student-run, volunteer sports network. We are currently in the top of the first inning here. And runners out at first. She showed bunt there. I was getting some technical difficulties sorted. Jonathan Pena, thank you so much for subscribing. As I mentioned, we are currently only 11 subscribers away from 800 subscribers. Started our channel just 6 months ago. And up at the plate for the Mustangs, number 2, Aubrey Ramos, the outfielder out of El Paso, Texas, graduate for the Mustangs. Shout out El Paso. We have some El Paso natives here in the broadcaster's booth. That one's upstairs and outside. I believe the count's 1-1. Beautiful weather here for some NAIA Red River Athletic Conference softball. And that one is a slapper out to left field, fielded by number 21 on the Jaguars side. That was number 21, Cristiana Luera. And taking her base is number 2, Ramos. Count is 1 out. Up the plate, Kylie Roston. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and bearing with our technical difficulties as we work through them. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. We are here at the beautiful campus of St. Mary's University at the park. They call their softball field. They're nice enough to accommodate us. This game was supposed to be played on Friday, but due to some inclement weather, was rescheduled to today and at later times as well. So here we are at the beautiful park at St. Mary's University. And it's a beautiful 60-something degrees, 63 degrees. Perfect conditions. Sun is beginning to set here. It is 6:03 Central Standard Time.
These past couple days, Cam, the weather is finally cooperative for outdoor activities as we have a hit there.
There's a ground out to first base. Runner advances to second. I believe that's Ramos that advanced. Tony T back on the microphone. Got our technical difficulties sorted. Tony T also doubles as our technical director here at the Jaguars Sports Network. We all kind of have different roles, and Tony's includes fixing those technical difficulties, and we're all sorted. I'd like to take this time to shout out our wonderful staff making the magic happen. I have the easy job of getting to commentate these amazing athletes. I'd like to shout out our president, Brian Lopez, who's working the technical side right now. I'd like to shout out our technical producer and co-commentator, Tony T, Tony Talamontes, and as well as Nevenka Gomez, our social media specialist and Marcom director, and as well as Natalie Navarrete, our director of photography. That one's high and outside. Ryan Limon. 1 and 2's the count. Excuse me. 1 and 1. Swings at that one. In the description of our live stream, it currently has the last year's stats for the Mustangs and both teams. So, as I had mentioned, the Mustangs coming in with a record of 3 and 7 overall. That one's slapped out to the left field. It's going to be a foul ball. Getting on top of the batting cages out there. Someone's going to have to run and grab that one, Tony.
Yes, sir. That was the story last series. Last week, a lot of the foul balls were on top of the roofs, and we had to go retrieve them. So we'll see who's going to take on that task tonight as another foul ball goes foul.
Two outs, one runner on. Count is 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the first. Gets a good pop at that one. Runner's going to advance to third. Gets her out at first, and Jaguars close out the top of the first inning. 0-0 is the score. Cameron C, Tony T on the call. We're going to go and send it into a little break as the Jaguars get ready to take the plate. And leading off for the Jaguars, getting the green light to go ahead, is Number 5, Kaylee Barlow, the sophomore infielder out of Shepherd, Texas. Thank you. On the mound for the Mustangs, number 25, Alexis Belen, junior pitcher out of Odessa, Texas. Counts at 1-2. Fouls that one off. Count is 2-2.
I get to think, Cam, that these Lady Jags are trying to avenge the basketball teams that both took losses against the Mustangs just a couple of days ago. So,
Absolutely, Tony. The University of the Southwest Mustangs traveled to Jaguar Den, taking on the Jaguars, and both teams coming away with a win over the Jags in convincing fashion, Tony.
yes.
As Barlow looking to lead off and slap that one away. This is outside, counts 3-2. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Jaguar Sports Network. Live here at the park, the beautiful campus of St. Mary's University. Cameron C. and Tony T. on the call. Tony and I just concluded the historic inaugural season of our basketball teams. The Lady Jags advancing to the postseason playoffs after getting an impressive run. Kaylee Barlow slapped one to the infield, and she's going to be thrown out to first base. That'll be the first out of the bottom of the first, and up for the Jags is number 21, Christiana Luera, and she had herself a nice game last matchup, Tony, against the Hardin Simmons. Their mascots leaving my name right now, but against Hardin Simmons, she had herself.
It was the Cowgirls, I believe.
Yes, the Cowgirls. Appreciate that, Tony. She had herself 1 run and 2 RBIs to add to the total score of 8-3 in that first win in that doubleheader. So Christiana Luera, expect her to try to get going here, the freshman out of Pharr, Texas. PSJA standout, getting the nod to go second in the batting order for the Jags. Umpire sees a strike, 2-1. So count, 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody on, 1 out. Both teams looking to start off the conference hot, Tony.
Absolutely, as the Mustangs are 3-7, while the Lady Jags are 5-9, but it's their first conference matchup. So, as you know, conference play is very important, especially when it comes to after the season. So, like you said, wanting to start off strong at the beginning of this conference.
Absolutely, and as Luera slaps one out to left field, the left fielder has some trouble fielding, and she's going to turn 2, and she does. She's safe at second. Christiana Luera.
Love the gutsy play to go for 2 there, Cam.
Absolutely. Notice the Mustang outfielder. That was Ralston that had some trouble fielding that one. Popped out of her glove there. Was able to make the throw to second, but Luera beat the throw. And now Jaguars got a runner on. And up at the plate is the heavy hitting number 7, Jordan Henry, the catcher for the Jags out of Tomball, Texas. And Tony, maybe you could speak on the importance of getting some of those jitters out in the preseason. You know, sometimes as Henry is grounded out, but Luera is going to take her base at third, and that'll be the second out of the bottom of the first. But as I was saying, Tony, maybe you could speak on the importance of getting some of those knacks and jitters out of the preseason before you enter the conference play. You know, I mean, Mustangs entering the game today 3-7 in the preseason, but Jaguars and 5-9. That's not always the most reflective of the team. So maybe you could speak on the importance of getting those jitters out early, as I said.
Absolutely, Cameron. As you said, that getting those preseason jitters out, getting the kinks worked out is important to do, especially in a long season, as softball has a lot of games. So it's good to get those cranks going, those gears going, and then you can roll into the conference play confident, as these Jaguars intend to do.
Absolutely. Jaguars ending the top of the first rather quickly. And looking to get going on offense here. They got one runner on third, and another foul ball. Look out from above. We have our own Namika Gomez down there in the dugout. She had to duck for cover. Count is 2-0, 0-2.
I heard the Lady Jags told her to bring a glove next time, just in case those balls were going to be hitting in. I don't think she listened, but
No, absolutely not, Tony. No glove in hand, but there goes. That was number 8, Aguilera, and she's going to pick herself up an RBI, and Jaguars on the board early. Cristiana Luera batted in. Jaguars up 1.
gotta say, Luera is quick, Cam. I didn't even see her go to home. I just saw her picking up her bat, and she was in.
Absolutely not.
She's fast.
In and out like that, and as we said, Jaguars up on the board early. Good position they have here. 2 outs, still got a runner on. That's Aguilera at first. Normally they have a pinch runner hop in for her. Not sure if we'll see that today. Pitcher's throwing some heat today on the mound for the Mustangs. Getting the nod is Belen.
Ooh.
Smack her out to left field. That one was Gage out to left field, but foul ball it is. Gage having some trouble at bat so far these last couple games. Currently sitting with 4 runs so far this season. Excuse me, I read that wrong. Not having any trouble. And that one's up and over us. Foul ball. That is correct. I read the stat wrong. She's currently sitting with a .350 batting average, Tony, and you can see right there that one is not going to be able to drop. And an amazing play from the left outfielder, Ralston, Tony, and that's going to round out the inning.
Great catch by the left outfielder as they send the, like you said, out the ending. So fantastic catch by the Mustangs. Good game so far, Cam.
Absolutely.
We're going to go ahead and hang tight and head into a little break as they get ready for the top of the second inning.
All right, and leading off the top of the second inning for the Mustangs is number 11, Haley Hernandez. Tony's sun is starting to set. There's a little breeze here at the park at St. Mary's, and beautiful temperatures here, 63 degrees. Couldn't ask for a better Sunday for some Red River Athletic Conference softball.
Absolutely, Cam. The weather is beautiful. These past couple days have just not been, as I said, cooperative for the outdoors and their activities. So the Jaguars and Mustangs are very blessed to have beautiful weather in the sport that they love in softball. As that ball goes foul. Counts 1-2. On the mound for the Jaguars is Limon, number 55, out of San Antonio, Texas. That ball goes on the right outfield. It bounces, and she's going to get to first base for a single.
Mustangs bench liking that one, Tony.
Yes, they did, Cam. They had an in-sync cheer, which was pretty cool to hear from up here.
A little bit different than the that one's high and outside. Gotta say, I like that one, Tony. That one's pretty cool.
Yes.
Hopefully the viewers heard that one at home.
Oh, left.
Smacks that one to the left field and gets under that with no problem. I think that was Shelby Celadon. No, excuse me. That was number 21, Cristiana Luera. She's had a busy day so far, Tony.
Absolutely. Like I said, she's quick. Didn't even see her get under it. That was very fast. Swing and a miss there from number 13 of the Mustangs.
Delaney Utajara. University of the Southwest coming by way of Hobbs, New Mexico, right on the Texas and New Mexico border. Utajara shows bunt. And that makes the count 0-2. Thank you, everybody, for
that ball's going to go foul. Mustangs dugout very active, and then the Jaguars know they're here. That ball's on the right. It'll be ball. Counts 1-2, 1 out. Got a piece of it, but that's going to go foul as well. I gotta say, yeah, the Mustangs dugout is in sync.
Absolutely. Mustang dugout is having themselves a time right now. I wonder how they practice those chants, or I wonder how that works.
Whatever it is, it's working. As
Absolutely.
That goes right in the middle, and middle outfielder is able to get under it. That'll be out number 2.
Jaguars playing some impressive defense right now. That was Taylor Gage getting under that one. Full-shear Texas senior. Makes that the second out of the top of the second. And that'll bring number 16, Reagan Burleson, to the plate. Still got a runner on first for the Mustangs. Burleson switching hands here. Tony, don't believe we've seen that yet this season from any batter. And working for it, making some contact right away. Foul ball, but
to see to be both-handed is a skill to have in any sport, and
absolutely. Have have to assume it's dangerous here as well as it is anywhere else, and she fouls that one away as well. Count is still sitting at 0-2, and 2 outs. The runner on.
Oh.
Calls that one a strike, and that one's going to end off the top of the second. Mustangs bench not liking that one. Looked a little high and inside to us, but that'll do it for the Jaguars. That's going to send us into the bottom of the second. Keep it right here. Cameron C., Tony T. on the call for the Jaguar Sports Network. We're going to go into a little break. And leading off for the Jaguars, bottom of the second, number 1, Karina Perez. Karina Perez currently batting at a .263 average. Has 7 runs so far this season and 3 stolen bases. The Eagle Pass native. Looking to get something going here for the Jags. Score is 1-0 if you're just joining us. Cameron C., Tony T. on the call. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're live here from the park at St. Mary's University. They're nice enough to accommodate us here and allow us in their home. As Belen throws her first strike after 3 straight balls, and just like that, Perez going to take her base after ball 4, Tony.
Absolutely. That's a. If you're a Mustangs fan, not what you want to see. If you're a Jaguars fan, it's good to see the first batter walk to first base and inching towards bases loaded. So we'll see what can happen next here.
I got to say, Tony, with quite the
Oh, there
walk.
she goes.
Oh, there she advancing to second off of an errant pitch. Catcher for the Mustangs couldn't handle that one. Nettles gets behind her. Call that one a ball as well. Perez advances to second base. As I was saying, though. Tori Campos coming up to the plate here with quite the walk-up song. I do say so myself, Tony.
I have to agree with you, Cam. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. It's in my classic playlist for sure.
Doesn't get much better than that, but that one was high and upstairs. Campos had to get out of the way a little bit on that one. Little Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll. No outs. 3 straight balls from Belen, and Jaguars got a runner on second. Umpired taking his time cleaning up that plate. Campos saw a ball, but umpire sees strike, and that'll be the first strike of Campos' first at bat of tonight. Still got a runner on second. And there's that fourth ball. So Jaguars, runners on first and second, no outs. In the bottom of the second, and looks like Nettles is going to go have a word with Belen. Thank you all so much for spending your your Sunday evening with us here. Tuning into the Jaguars Sports Network.
Cam's mind is at the club going up on a Tuesday.
Absolutely, we
Here on a
have.
Sunday evening.
If you haven't already, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Help us reach our goal of hitting 800 subscribers before the end of the softball season. Help support the Jaguars Sports Network, the entirely student-run volunteer sports network on the campus of A&M San Antonio, as Warren shows a bunt. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop us a comment, leave us a chat, let us know where you're viewing from and who you're supporting, whether it's the Jaguars or Mustang side. We're happy to have you here. A like and a great bunt, but laid down by Warren. She'll advance to first, but won't beat the throw, and that'll be the first out of the bottom of the second. But runners do advance to third and second. Jaguars have some runners in scoring position with only one out. And coming up to the plate, known to make contact, Ashlyn Weiner, 00, the third baseman. Currently has 5 runs this season, batting at a .250 average with 6 RBIs. So no stranger to bringing her teammates in, Tony.
Absolutely, Cam. That's a name we always say these past couple of softball games we've been calling. So we'll see what she can do here, as that ball is going to be a strike. Counts 0-2 with 1 out.
Ashlyn Weiner's had a pretty big season so far defensively in the preseason. In our first broadcast we covered against Baker University, she had quite the busy afternoon on third base, and she did as well against Hardin-Simmons University. And let's see what Ashlyn Weiner can get going today for the Jaguars. Thank you all so much for subscribing if you have, and if you haven't already, go and hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this commentary. Cameron C. and Tony T. on the call. Just finished off the historic inaugural basketball season for the Jaguars. And Weiner making some contact. She's going to advance to first, and runner will advance home off of a mishandled ball, number 16 for the Mustangs. Having some trouble. That was Burleson, and Jaguars advancing to home. Weiner, it's going to get another RBI, Tony.
Yep. Added to the stat sheet, Cam. That was a mishandle of the ball, like you said, and led to an easy RBI for the Jaguars.
We'll have to see if that one will go down as an error for Ralston, or excuse me, for Burleson. But up at the plate here, number 5, Kaylee Barlow. Weinert's on first, and can't see the number on second. On second is number 16, Emily Palacio. Not sure if she hopped in as a pinch runner or if I read the number wrong. Hit right back to the pitcher. Kaylee Barlow thrown out at first. And Jaguars now with 2 outs on the board. Still runners on second and third.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 21, Christiana Luera.
Up at the Jags, Christiana Luera. I believe she had 1 RBI already tonight, Tony.
I believe so. That is correct, Cam. And with 2 runners on third and second, and she's looking to get another one here if she can get some contact.
any sort of contact would somewhat do it, but with 2 outs, you kind of have to get it in a position where, you can't be thrown out.
Absolutely.
Cristiano Luera, the far Texas.
Oh,
And another
again.
mishandled ball on the infield. That was number 16 once again, Burleson. And Jaguars on the board, and I think that was another stolen base advance to second, Tony.
Yeah.
We didn't
wow.
even. What just happened?
Didn't even bat an eye, and she's on second. Runners on second and third, and
Cristiano Luera is going to pick up another RBI, and Tori Campos is the one who advanced home. So Jaguars heating up here early on, kind of following the theme of their previous games. That one goes foul by number 7, Jordan Henry.
Yeah, I need to start recording stats.
Jordan Henry, the catcher, out of Tomball, Texas. Believe she has 1 ground out after 1 at bat tonight, if I'm correct on that. I think we're correct on that, Tony. Thank you. Solid contact on that one, but she will be thrown out at first, and Mustangs able to escape the bottom of the second inning. And after 2 innings here, Jaguars up by 3-0, and the University of the Southwest Mustangs 0. Tony, quite the exciting matchup so far, as we said, following the theme of the previous matchups of the Jaguars, and got to assume this is the start they wanted coming into the first game of their doubleheader tonight, taking on the Mustangs of this first doubleheader of conference play. So 3-0 is a score. Cameron C., Tony T. on the call for the Jaguars Sports Network. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're just 8 subscribers away from 800 subscribers, and we cannot be more thankful enough for that. Be sure to follow us on Instagram as well at Jaguar Sports Network. Excuse me.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke, Cam.
Absolutely, and here we are heading into the top of the third. Limon still has the nod, and Jaguars been hot on defense so far. Looks like Henry isn't in at catcher. I'm going to pull up my roster here and get, that's number 26, Haley McDonald.
Interesting change there.
Utility player. Hopping in at catcher today. And
do want to update, as you mentioned earlier, Cam, about the women's basketball team advancing to the postseason. The schedule's out, and they will be playing over in Alexandria, Louisiana, February 28th at 8:15 p.m. as the 4th seed. The Texas A&M University of San Antonio Lady Jaguars will be taking on the number 5 Houston Tillotson at 8:15 p.m. You can go to the Red River Athletic Conference website to get a live link to watch your ladies play at 8:15 p.m. this Friday, February 28th.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after working through some technical difficulties. Up at bat here is number 3, Denali Garces, Garces. And it's actually Adriana Nettles. I read the wrong number, Tony. Her hair made it look like a 3 and not a 9.
That happens to me all the time, Cam. So that's the catcher for the Mustangs, and counts 0-1, 1 out. Oh, almost a great catch by the third baseman, Weinhardt, but that's going to go in left field, and we'll get a Mustang on first base.
Absolutely great base hit out to the left field. Ashland Weinert trying to get down low for that one, but unable to field it. Nettles takes her base.
Aubrey Ramos on the plate. That one was a little. That'll be a strike. So it counts 0-1.
Shows bunt, but that one runs foul. Just over 50 people watching live on the Jaguars Sports Network. Tony, we are happy to have you all here, whether it's Jaguars or Mustangs fans alike. Happy to have you viewing the entirely student-ran volunteer network. And as I said, we're live from the park at St. Mary's University. Ramos showed bunt and tried to slap at that one, but that one's outside. Excuse me, that one was yes, that one was outside. Great turnout tonight. Considering the weather, temperature's starting to drop here, 61 degrees, and Ramos slaps one out to left field, but that's no problem for number 21, Luera. She gets under that one just fine. That makes the second out. Mustangs still have a runner on first.
Lady Jags, like you said, Cam, the same story as these last couple games. They get it done on the defensive end. They run through these top innings very quickly, and already 2 outs and only 1 Mustang on. So good job by the Jaguars.
Absolutely, and as Kylie Ralston, or is that is Kaylee Ralston. A great play by the Jaguar shortstop. Little pop up, nice and easy for her. Believe that one was fielded by number 1, Karina Perez, and that'll send the Jaguars into the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Just like that.
Absolutely,
Just like that.
as we said, following the theme, quick defense and putting them now on the offensive side. Score is 3-0. Cameron C., Tony T. on the call, and we're going to set into a little break. Yeah, for the Jags, Samara Aguilera, and popping one out early. She's going to get to first base with her first swing of the bat. That first pitch, and
A good bounce there off the
absolutely
field.
was unable to be fielded by the Mustangs' second baseman, Udajara. And Samara going to be taken out by pinch runner. Number 2, Belicia already that is. Apologies, chat. Did not have my chat open. This field is located It's St. Mary's University in San Antonio, Texas. This is called the Park. That's what they call their softball field here. They were kind enough to accommodate us. We were making up a game that was supposed to be played on Friday, but making it up here on this beautiful Sunday night. The Park at St. Mary's University. Jaguars currently, or rather I should say the Texas A&M University San Antonio school, campus I should say, is just broke ground on the new softball and track facilities, adding to the historic firsts, many firsts I should say, as Taylor Gage showed bunt right there. Not sure what the count is, but we do have Belicia Odidales on first base as a pinch runner.
Counts 1-1 per that umpire down there. And, left field. What a catch by the left outfielder for the Mustangs. I can't see the number from this far, but wow, what a catch.
Absolutely
Cam.
Amazing catch getting under that. That's her second time tonight getting under a deep drive to left field. That's, I want to say, number 12. Kylie Ralston.
For the Jaguars, number 1, Karina Perez.
Karina Perez, though, up for the Jags. Had a busy night earlier. Thank you all so much for chatting. Jonathan Pena, Miss Sharon Caldwell, and Mr. Anthony Davis. This is the real Anthony Davis. Hello, and if it's not, hello. Happy to have you here. Tuning in to the Jaguar Sports Network, supporting the entirely student-ran volunteer sports network.
It would make sense if it was the Anthony Davis. He's in Dallas now. As that goes, wow, down the middle. Another good hit by the Jaguars. Now you have a runner on first and second. And no outs, Cam. It seems like it's a little bit of miscommunication with the Mustangs that these balls keep slipping out and under them.
Absolutely. Jaguars looking to heat up. Karina Perez on first, as Tony said. No outs.
For the Jaguars, number 18, Tori Campos.
Tori Campos up for the Jags. First pitch is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Beautiful. Your nephew is a freshman at TAMUSA. Thank you so much for tuning in to support the Jaguar Sports Network, and also supporting your nephew's school. As Tori Campos doesn't swing at that one. That one's high and outside. Getting the green light for the Mustangs is Alexis Belen, the junior pitcher out of Odessa, Texas, out of Permian High School, the legendary Texas high school known for its football. But here we are at the Park, St. Mary's University. Beautiful night. Runners on second and third, and there goes Campos. She gets one to the infield, and runner's going to advance home. She beats a throw, and safe at second is, safe at home is Odidales, and the runner at third is safe as well.
Wow, Cam, what a back-to-back hits for the Jags down the center field, and now you got another runner in, runners on second and third, and
Absolutely.
Jags in good position right now for a commanding lead as the Mustangs are heading towards the mound and going to have a conversation, Cam.
Absolutely. There comes the the Mustangs head coach. As Tony said, Jaguars starting to heat up. 4-0 is the score. Odidales was safe at home. Tori Campos is going to go down for an RBI. My family's in the chat. My wonderful grandma. Thank you so much for all the support from my family. And as well as all of the TAMUSA family, Jaguar family, we call it. All one big family. One of the beautiful things of going to a smaller institution. As Rachel Warren steps up to the plate, that pitch is just outside. Thank you all so much for tuning in and viewing this first game of this doubleheader. That one's way upstairs. Belen on the mound after just getting a talking to from the Mustangs head coach. 1-1 is the count.
Oh, right field.
Warren slaps that one. Runner's going to advance home. She beats the throw as well. That's Karina Perez, and not too much luck sliding there. Kind of slid in awkwardly. Hopefully everything's all right there. But Jaguars getting going. Still no outs. Runner advanced to third. That was that number 15 on? Can't read the number on third, but Jaguars have a runner on third with, we do have 2 outs, excuse me. Jaguars heating up 5-0, bringing that runner inside.
5-0, Cam. As we're getting closer to that 5th inning, you got to wonder if the pressure is going to start getting the Mustangs with that 8 after 5 rule, as the Jaguars already at 5 with Weinart at bat, and like you said, she's no stranger for RBI, so we'll see what can unfold here.
And Tony, if the viewers at home that may not be aware, maybe you could inform what happens after 8 rules is achieved after 5 innings.
Absolutely. After the 5th inning, if a team is up by 8 runs, they will call the softball game. So, like I said, the pressure can be starting to get to the Mustangs team as a whole and even just the pitcher in general.
Absolutely. Pitchers no strangers to having the weight of the world on their shoulders. As Belen, that one's popped out to right field, and great job by the right fielder getting onto that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 3 innings,
That was number 20, Ashley Alvarez. Excuse me, no. Don't believe we saw a number on that one, Tony, but the right fielder, great job making a quick sprint to get to that one.
Absolutely. It's almost as if she heard us talking about the 8 and 5 rule. And with that, we'll head to the 4th inning, and we're going to go ahead and sit into a break in this Jaguar Sports Network broadcast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we have Layla Stouter at the plate. Score is 5-0 in favor of the Jaguars as Stouter gets contact, and the shortstop's able to get on top of it, and she's going to be thrown out just like that. The Jaguars have 1 out. Quick and easy for them has been the story these past couple of competitions that we've broadcasted. Is 1 out already for the Lady Jags.
Number 11, Haley Hernandez.
Now up to the plate, Haley Hernandez is at bat here, and Limon still on the mound for the Lady Jaguars. As she gets a piece of it, but that's going to go foul. It's going to be ball number 1, so it counts 1-1 with 1 out for the Mustangs. gets a piece of it, and that's going to go all the way to right field. And able to get under it is that right outfielder. So already, Cam, the Mustangs have 2 outs, and not a good position to be in if you are those Mustangs. Jaguars cooking up early.
Absolutely, a lot of confidence and swagger being displayed from the Jaguars right now with a comfortable lead. 2 outs, 5 runs, and just the top of the 4th, Tony. You have to wonder if Jaguars going to keep on rolling with this train that's going on right now. Weak smacker to the back to the pitcher, Limon, and Jaguars going to close out that one.
Just
looked
like
there was
that.
a little bit of hesitation on the swing there, but she did make some what you would call clean contact with it. Went right back to Limon, and Limon had no problem throwing her out to first. So Jaguars, another quick top of the inning, and Jaguars 5, Mustangs 0, as the sun is finally starting to set here. We have nightfall at the park. Beautiful St. Mary's University in the first game of tonight's doubleheader of kicking off conference play between the Jaguars and Mustangs. Mustangs coming by way of Hobbs, New Mexico, right on the border of Texas and New Mexico. Wonderful little small town. Yes, man. University of Southwest is in Hobbs, New Mexico. They just took on our basketball teams a couple days ago and got the better of them, Tony.
That is correct, and it looks like the Lady Jags have it on their mind as they have a commanding lead already, 5-0, as they're trying to avenge their fallen sports teams.
Absolutely, as number 5, Kaylee Barlow, stepping back up to the plate. Believe she had 1 ground out and maybe 2 ground outs tonight. Not too sure on the second at bat, but Miss Sharon Caldwell and Anthony Davis, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting and also chatting. Mr. Anthony Davis letting us know he was watching most of the men's and women's basketball games. Good to know you've been a longtime viewer of the Jaguar Sports Network and been a supporter of ours for a while now. Same with Miss Sharon Caldwell. As I said, my family's in the chat. And that one was high and inside. Kaylee Barlow looking to lead off. Get a slapper on that one as she's a left-handed batter. Needs to get more of a lead on it. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs. 5-0 is the score. That one's outside as well. 3 straight balls, Tony. You have to wonder at what point the Mustangs head coach might decide to make a change. Barlow shows bunt. That one is good for a strike.
Absolutely, Cam. Like you said, at one point, will they decide to make a change as they're getting closer and closer to that 5th inning and no runs for the Mustangs?
Absolutely, as Barlow makes some solid contact with it, but third baseman has no problem fielding, and Barlow's going to be out at first. That's her second ground out at, I want to say 3 at bats here. Looks like there's some activity going on in the Jaguars bullpen. Wonder if that is just, wouldn't say precautionary, but just warming up for the doubleheader. But up at the Jaguars, Cristiana Luera, she's had a busy night tonight, Tony.
Yes, she's, and then we keep saying Cam as she's been making plays on the defensive and offensive side, and we'll see if she can get something cooking here as that ball hits the ground.
She shows bunt, but as you said, that ball hits the ground, and if a runner was on, would have had no problem advancing off of that errant pitch. Bounced right over the catcher's left shoulder. My family has a little bit of history at University of Southwest. My grandma actually worked at the University of the Southwest when it was a brand new school. As Luera fouls that one off.
Got to ask Cam then, is your grandma rooting for the Mustangs or is she rooting for the Jaguars? Now we got to know.
I was going to say we may have to see. She comments in the chat. And umpire sees a strike. Luera didn't agree with that one. Was ready to get going to first and taking her base. Have to think my grandma would be supporting the Jags, though, as I am the play-by-play commentator for us, but who knows? She is a Hobbs native, lived there most of her life. As Loera takes her base, Jaguars. She says Jags all the way, not to worry there, Tony.
All right, that's what we like to hear. Grandma Caldwell.
Absolutely is. 5-0 is the score, bottom of the fourth. Thank you all so much for chatting with us and dropping us likes. The entirely student-run network, volunteer student network, as I should add, Tony.
I was going to
That one's
be a
upstairs.
strike, and count is going to be 0-2.
And there's that wild pitch, and Loera is going to advance to second. Maybe if she kept running, could have had an opportunity to go to third.
Could
Quick
have.
feet there on Loera, Tony.
All right, absolutely. She's quick, Cam. Like you said, she's not even blink an eye, and she's already on the second base. And
60 people watching live on the Jaguar Sports Network. Cannot be happier. 2-2 is the count as Jordan Henry gets under that one and
Oh,
it drops.
man.
The
again with the
Ramos unable to field it, and Henry got to bring in Loera, or Loera's going to score, and Jaguars on the board again, following their theme 6-0, and Jordan Henry taking her base at first, one out. Jaguars in favorable position, and here comes number 8, Samara Aguilera. She's had herself another busy night, another name we've been commenting on all night, Tony.
absolutely, Cam. And you got to wonder, the Mustangs just kind of looked rattled right there as they just allowed Loera just to walk right into home plate there. So you got to wonder now, and like I keep saying, it's getting closer and closer to that 5th inning.
Absolutely, as we are in the bottom of the fourth, score is 6-0. Only 2 more runs, and Jaguars will hit that 8 after 5 rule. Umpire seems to be getting something sorted with his infield ump.
Now batting for the Jaguars, number 8. Samara
And pitch running for the Jags is number 32, Shelby Celadone, the Edinburgh, Texas native, representing the 956 for the Jags. She hopped on for Jordan Henry, I believe, as
Foul ball.
Aguilera fouls that one away. That one's high. Great job by the catcher popping up to grab that. Another foul ball. Mustangs bench still haven't quieted down at all. Surprisingly, haven't heard too much from the Jaguars dugout out of tonight's first game of tonight's doubleheader.
Absolutely, Cam. They usually, unless it's just that this window's closed here and I can't hear, but I do know they are always active as much as the Mustangs are, as that's going to go down midfield again, and that midfielder ain't able to drop it down as we have another, and she's going to go all the way to second and third. So got runners on third and second. Jaguars in position to take a more of a commanding lead here, Cam.
Absolutely. Shelby Celadone advances to third, and Samara Aguilera at second, and up at the plate now is number 10, Taylor Gage. And looks like there comes that change for the Mustangs, Tony.
Yes, that we had talked about earlier.
And Samara Aguilera going to be taken out for a pinch runner, or maybe she's just getting some water. Just kidding, she's just getting some water.
Very fancy cup there. Looks like
Absolutely, looks like a Stanley from here. I wonder what the design on it is.
Stanleys are the way to go, Cam, as they keep it cool, and they have that little handle on the side, which
I've heard that.
is iconic. And
I've heard Stanleys are what's new these days.
absolutely, they are very useful.
Among the maybe we'll give away a Stanley to our 800 subscriber. 7 away from 800 subscribers. Jaguar Sports Network, the entirely student-run network.
We're all unsubscribing now.
Can't make any promises that it'll actually be a Stanley. It might be a Stanny.
Absolutely, might be a Stan Cup. No promises there. Not going to put it in writing either. But number 22 for the Mustangs warming up. Tommy Faram, excuse me. If I read that number correct, I believe she's not listed as a pitcher, Tony. She's listed at catcher and first base. But there she is warming up on the mound, getting the nod to take on Taylor Gage in what could be the last couple innings here for the Jags, as score is 6-0. And Tony, if you want to remind the viewers at home about the rule here.
Absolutely. If the Jaguars can get to 8 runs at the end of the 5th inning, that'll be the ball game. And score is 6-0. Mustangs make the change to pitcher, so desperation for the Mustangs to get out of this hole, as that one is hit on all the way left field, and that left fielder able to get under it again. She's done that 3 times already today, Cam, as she's been very active over there.
Absolutely trying to be a beacon of light in what's been a rough game of defense so far for the Mustangs. Runner still on second and third. That's Samara Aguilera and Shelby Celadone. Up at the plate, Karina Perez. I think she has herself 1 RBI tonight, if I'm correct, Tony.
Believe so, 1 or 2, and no stranger to getting the runners in as that ball goes foul, and no stranger to getting the home plate herself.
Not at all. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and chatting with us, keeping us company here. If you haven't already, go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know where you're viewing from and who you're supporting, whether it's Mustangs or Jaguars fans. We are happy to have you here, as that pitch bounces in from Faram. Good eye by Gage. Excuse me, not Gage, Perez. And she fouls that one off. That'll be second strike now. 0-2 is the count. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on third and second. If you're just joining us, Cameron C. and Tony T. on the call for the Jaguar Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio. And
There
pitch.
she goes, Shelby.
Here comes Shelby Celadone. She's going to score off of a mishandled pitch there.
She'll be coming around the home plate there, Cam. That was an easy run for her, and that's the first or second time we've seen that ball slip out of the Mustangs' hands, and now the score's going to be 7-0. And
Absolutely, the troubles for the Mustangs continuing, Tony.
absolutely.
And with the strong batter currently at the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on third. Karina Perez trying to get something going in the bottom of the 4th.
Oh, again, the ball slips out of the Mustangs. And Perez able to get to first plate and fight for which place she's going to get to. She's going to get to, they're going to get her out there, Cam, as it was a little shifty back and forth as we couldn't figure out where she was going to go, but it was interesting nonetheless, and that'll take us out of the 4th inning, heading to the top of the 5th. The Jaguars up 7-0, and we'll go ahead and send it into a little break with this Jaguar Sports Network broadcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, after a quick update from the Jaguars head coach, the runner that came in at the plate while there was a chase down between first and second is counting. So 8-0 the score, Tony, at the top of the 5th.
And that's dangerous territory if you're the Mustangs. Is after this, that is going to be it, Cam,
Yeah,
I believe.
absolutely.
Because that won't give the Mustangs another chance to get some runs, and it's 8-0. And after this top of the 5th, we'll see if the Mustangs get on the scoreboard. If they get on the scoreboard, we'll head to the bottom. But if not, we'll see as Utajara is at the bat for the Mustangs.
Limon still with the nod. If you're just joining us here, Rian Limon. And Utajara gets a piece of that one. That's foul ball territory. Look out from above. Looks like everyone's okay over there. Brian Tucker tuning in from Artesia, New Mexico. Thank you so much, Brian Tucker. We can add that to the we can put a pin in that area on our map of viewers. We have viewers from all over on the Jaguar Sports Network, and happy to add Artesia, New Mexico to the list. And Miss Tina Campos, thank you so much for keeping us updated, making sure the Jaguar Sports Network, we're on our toes here. Absolutely, the score is 8-0. And Utajara fouling another one away. Count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Tony, as we had mentioned, there is a mercy rule here. 8 runs after 5 innings, and that'll conclude the ball game. And if that were to be the case, that would send us into the second matchup of tonight's doubleheader. That one's upstairs and a little bit inside. Limon, second ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Tony.
Absolutely, Cam. All the pressure's on the Mustangs right here as they get set to try to get some runs here at the top of this 5th inning. As that one goes foul and into the stands is what it looked like. Mustangs dugout, though, still very active and supportive of their team as they know another game is just on the horizon.
Utajara gets a nice piece of that one. Weinert's going to have some trouble fielding it, and Utajara is going to be good at first.
Something we don't see by that third baseman.
Absolutely. Don't think haven't seen that so far this season, Tony. She's been quite solid at third base so far. So Utajara will take first, and that'll bring up number 16, Reagan Burleson, the Lavernia, Texas native. Just outside of San Antonio, Tony. As I said, thank you all so much for tuning in and chatting with us. Bryant Tucker, Anthony Davis, Tina Campos, my family, Miss Sharon Caldwell. There's the pitch, solid contact. That one's popped up, and Ashlyn Weinert making up for her early troubles in the inning and getting that one solid focus. We saw her tracking that one from here, Tony.
Yeah, she was third base. She went right in front of the dugout and caught that ball, and Mustangs get there out, or the Jaguars get there out, excuse me, and There's 2 more here, Cam, as they are quick at the top of these innings.
Over 50 people watching live on the Jaguars Sports Network and a number of people in person.
Piece of it, but that's going to go foul. And number 21 of the Mustangs, Andres.
Up at the bat, Andres, excuse me. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 runner on. 8-0 is the score. Mustangs got to get something going here, and if they don't, we will immediately head into our second game of tonight's doubleheader as the mercy rule will take into effect. No reason for the Jags to go on the offensive side, bottom of the 5th. But 3 straight balls, Limon. Andres fouls 1 away, and that'll go down as the second strike, 3-2.
Piece of it, that's going to go foul. Counts 3-2 with 1 out. And Andres here on the to bat. And that'll be a strikeout. That's what the umpire sees it, and it's 2 outs for the Jaguars. 1 more can send this to the ball game, Cam.
Absolutely looking like it might head that way, Tony.
Now batting for the Mustangs, number 9,
Adriana Nettles, number 9, fouls her
foul ball.
first one off. Currently batting at a 182 batting average this season. No runs so far, 167 average this season. Nettles, good eye on that one, letting that one go by her. Gotta say, Tony, I have to agree with you. I'm loving the enthusiasm coming from the Mustangs dugout, no matter the score here, 8-0 in just 4 innings, but have not stopped so far.
Absolutely. It's good to see out of their team spirit hasn't gone away, as they know that the game is not over, and they have another game just on the other side of this softball game. So got to keep the energy high, especially if you're the Mustangs down by so much, as that ball goes a little high, and the count's going to be 3-1.
Still a runner on first. Probably one of the longer innings so far. Then some solid contact on that one. That one's going to drop as well. And
she knows she needs to score here to keep the game alive.
Absolutely.
And she is going to head all the way to home plate, and she's going to stop, go back to third, and slide safe at third base. And now we got runners on second and third. Mustangs in position to keep this game alive, Cam.
Absolutely. Nettles making some solid contact on that one, planting her feet, getting the barrel turned down low, and that dropped, I believe, was it just over or just in front of the left outfielder? One of the two. Either way, though, runners on second and third with still 2 outs, and Jaguars going to be able to escape that one there. And after I believe 5, the mercing rule is going to take effect.
Believe so,
correct,
Cam.
Tony?
Believe so, as the score's 8-0. That'll conclude it. After 4.5 innings, the game is over. The Jaguars successfully complete that mercy rule, 8-0, and that was a quick win for the Jaguars, and we'll go ahead and get ready for our second game of this doubleheader. And we'll go ahead and send into a little break to get ready for the second game. Stay tuned on the Jaguars Sports Network.
Keep it right here.